Hi, welcome to episode 18 of the podcast. Today, Tris and I are going to be talking about bidding on competitors' keywords, branded keywords in search platforms. It's going to get spicy. Tris,
Oh no! I'm not eating anything again.
for
the love of God, no.
Because this is contentious. This is a contentious topic.
It is.
It polarizes, I think, a lot of the search community.
It is. So we've got a question here that came from the team. Your competitor just launched a new hotel down the street. Should you bid on their name to steal some traffic?
Maybe, if you've got the budget to do it. Otherwise, probably a waste of time.
Yeah.
Probably a waste of money. If I had... It is the last thing I would spend money on search. If I had hit my point of diminishing returns on all of the campaigns, it's the last thing I would advise.
Yeah, and plus, ownership is still throwing money at you.
Yeah.
Spend more money.
Yeah. Here's 50 grand, what can you do with it? Plus, I think you risk starting a bidding war and really peeing off the competition. It's not a massive industry, especially locally, in certain cities. So yeah, you're gonna have to meet these people eventually. And we've had people send letters to other ownerships and other groups, saying, "Why on earth are you bidding on my keywords? We were playing golf together at the weekend."
Yeah,
and I got told off for that, and I'm still very sorry.
I had the same. I did it on Gmail. Remember when Gmail had
promotions?
Yeah, I did that. I managed to specifically target people. I targeted too well. I also targeted people in the hotel, and the client got an email saying, "Let's stop this."
What going on? Yeah. So if they open up down the street, unless you made of money, probably not worth the fight, if I'm honest.
Yeah, true. Especially if it's one that's just opening down the street.
Give it a chance.
Well, there's not only that, it's like nobody's really going to be searching for them.
That's true, actually.
It's like, if it's a brand new property, it's an established property and there's traffic to steal, then perhaps, you may want to consider it. But the drawbacks that you've got there's just so many drawbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it costs more, won't showing up in competitor searches at least build brand awareness?
Yes, but is it the right kind of brand awareness? Are you not? No, I don't think it's worth it. I still don't think it's worth it because you're still paying to get in front of somebody who doesn't care about that. They're not looking for you, and I
get the wrong time, isn't it?
Yeah, I get the point. I get the idea of brand awareness and building, showing yourself to people who aren't aware of you. But there's a difference between people who aren't aware of you and people actively searching for someone else and don't have nothing to do with you previously, but you're trying to get in front of them. I just think, plus at those kind of CPC prices, you're much better taking that money and putting it into some kind of CPM campaigns where you're going to get in front of more people for proportionately lower cost. I just think it's a dick move.
And at the right stage of the search process as well. Because if somebody's looking for a brand name specifically, they're probably a little bit further down that funnel than you really want to be. And if you're trying to jump in at the last minute saying, "Hey,
look at us,"
as what was it, Meredith Grey? Was it pick me, choose me, love me type? Yeah. That's the whole thing. And I stole that completely from Hannah, who has written a blog post about this very topic, where she goes into a lot of detail. It's going to be on our website very shortly, if it's not up there already. And I think she's really captured the tone and the voice of how this should be presented. Meredith Grey also included. So, okay then.
When would we do it? When would we be on competitive?
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do that one. I was going to ask a slightly different question.
Go.
No. But I think you're right. Let's do that. When should you bid on competitors, and how should you bid on competitors?
One, if you made of money. If you got more money than sense, bid away. That's the right time. That's the right time. Fun coupons. Then that's the right time.
Yeah.
Two, RSAs. Yes. And I've been standing on this soapbox since 2018. So forgive me if I had a soapbox, I'd get back on it, but I don't. RSAs, remarketing list for search ads, is the only time, and it's the only time where we've seen ridiculous returns for really, really top of funnel keywords like luxury hotel Upper East Side or
absolutely
5-star hotel NYC.
Yeah.
RSAs. The only time we should do it. Seamless. The only time we should do remarketing list for search ads where people have previously been to your website, had a look around, not converted.
Yeah.
Lovely. I've got my claws into them. They're my customer to lose. and then you put them into a remarketing list, and then one of three different types of campaigns. So they go back to Google, and they either search for hotels in X, so like your vicinity,
Yeah.
or they search for a competitor's brand name,
Boom.
or they search for your hotel again.
Yep.
And in each three of those instances, they get served a separate ad from somebody who isn't on that list. And it is honest to God like fish in a barrel. If you've got the right offer that's compelling, it's going to tip them over the edge, you can get like 1,000 to 1 returns. Honestly, on those keywords.
Yeah.
I've still got a screenshot from 2018
Yeah.
of a hotel that will remain nameless because it's now a timeshare. Well, yeah, it was nice and indie, but we ran an RSA campaign, and we showed like luxury hotels near Times Square, and we got honestly like 800-900 to 1 in this campaign. And what ownership loved was at the end of the month when the Dawn would present them with a list of competing hotels that they'd stolen revenue from, because we were able to give them the search terms report and say, well, here are your 5 competitors that you've stolen
in your comp set.
Yeah, all these dollars you'd stolen from them,
Yep.
and they were about to go stay somewhere else. They were over the moon.
Yeah.
It was the best calls I've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well, you mentioned about the messaging. You can actually get quite cheeky with that, especially with the competitor ones. I know Hannah on our team, she's got some of these ads live at the moment, and she's kind of playing and toying around with the like we're better than them type ads.
Yep.
Even though we know that it's, when you're bidding on competitors' keyword, they're gonna be number one. They're gonna hit the number one spot because they've got everything lined up for them in the Google Ads algorithm. It's gonna favour them. Yep. Their landing page, the keyword, everything matches and aligns.
Yep.
The one thing that you can influence the most, though, out of that holy trinity of things that affects your overall quality score is the click-through rate. And how do you do that? You write a really compelling ad.
Yeah.
You write something that's clever, that's smart, that's witty, or preferably all three, and diverts traffic away.
Yeah. It's the best time to get, I think, cheeky and creative with the ads.
Yeah.
Like the ad copy we've always used, is still interested in Hotel XYZ. How about X% off the price? And it speaks to people because they're still searching, they're still in market for a stay, and they're already invested in a hotel because they've been there, they've had a look around, they know all about you. Tip them over the edge with an extra 5%, or lose them to an OTA, or lose them to a competitor. Get them in, increase your occupancy. But you can start to be really cheeky if you're in position 2. We're better than them. 2 arrows pointing up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't use emojis anymore, but you can certainly use up pointing. I know.
I do miss the emojis.
There was
you weren't allowed to use them back then. You could just sneak
no,
them in.
There's like a halcyon 2 weeks where they didn't realise you could put them in, and we didn't realise. So, oh gosh, what was the best ones? I think we managed to get a turd emoji in one of them.
Don't feel turd emoji.
Yeah.
Stay here and feel.
How they still as advertised is beyond me. It really is. But they were some of the funniest times, I think. But that is the best strategy for competitive keyword bidding.
Okay, let's flip the tables.
Flip away, mate.
Slightly. No.
Okay.
Metaphorically,
flip the table.
Yeah. What if your competitors are bidding on your brand keywords? What would you do?
First of all, cancel golf at the weekend because this is both ways. It's a 2-way street. What would I do if they were bidding on my keywords?
I'd have to set up an RLSA campaign like you were saying there, but go full on cheek, like even with your own brand, because that's the one that they're going to be bidding on. You can change your message then. So you know that somebody who has been to your website, but then they're coming back to your website as well. You're not going to get all of them.
No.
But at that point, you know that the competitor's actually bidding on yours. So do you make reference to them?
No, because if their ad doesn't appear, you're going to look like a loon. I think
true.
What you do, I think,
I'd still do it.
Take a defensive stance. Monitor impression share. Monitor like the search reports, look at positioning and other URLs in the auction. Try and work out. I mean, if you wanted to, you could just raise your CPC for your own brand and try and burn through their budget really quickly.
Yeah, they're not going to put a lot of budget to it.
No. No, they're really not.
No.
And you can teach them a lesson very quickly about just getting everybody to click on their ads. Not that we recommend doing that. And burn through their budget in like 3 or 4 minutes in the start of the day. Fantastic. No, I mean, what would that also say? That also says, if it's a generic brand name that's not an RLSA, it says to me they're in trouble. It says to me that they're under pressure, that their occupancy is taking a dive. We might see this reflected in a star report, that they are they're under pressure and they're going to make mistakes. So I'd be watching their offers really closely. I'd be watching what they're doing with, from a revenue perspective and seeing where they're coming in there. Yeah, that'd be interesting if it was just vanilla bidding, just
not RLSA bidding. If it's just vanilla bidding,
then it says a lot more about possibly troubles and pressures that they're under, rather than a well thought out strategy.
Yeah, unless they've got more money to burn.
Unless they're made of money, in which case, go for it.
I think you're right. I think the it's definitely a watching brief. This is the thing though. It's the people, the industry is that small. The people that you work with, you don't know who's going to be your boss next week.
Yeah,
if you end up moving or they end up moving, you've got to be careful. You've got to weigh up the balance with all of this and really make sure that it fits in with the overall strategy. And if you're going to do it, I think obviously you need to do it a bit more tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
be a bit playful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that way you can at least apologise. Say it was only a joke. It was sensitive.
Yeah, do you not like a joke?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
joke. That's what I do.
Yeah. I think that probably kind of covers it all, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, if you didn't like us talking about it, you're probably going to like Hannah talking about it.
Definitely.
Because it's a lot more sensible. It's slightly more sensible. It's definitely in keeping with the tone of how this topic needs to be approached. But we appreciate you joining us. Any information you need on RLSAs, I won't shut up talking about them. I promise you.
He won't. He really, really
call
won't.
Me anytime. Literally, just text me. I'll have a chat with him. Anyway, thanks for joining us for that. That's the end.